Sachse, and I am here today to share a little bit about my story with you. Now, when I was thinking about what part of my story to share, I originally wasn't planning on sharing only this part. It was really hard for me to kind of narrow down exactly where I wanted to begin my story and how I should tell you guys. Because there's just a lot to people's stories, right? We each have a lot of things happen in our lives, whether we're 16 years old or 22 years old or 35. We've all experienced a lot of things in our lives, and there are certain parts that we really want to share, and there's other parts that we're not so sure how to share. And so this is what I came up with after trying to rethink exactly what I wanted to share. And there's a lot more to my story, just like everyone else's, but this is the part that I want to share with you guys today. So I'm going to be talking about my school experience and kind of how I went from being a college dropout and feeling lost to where I'm at now, being my own business owner and paving my new path and trying to create something different. So I graduated from high school May of 2010. I'm 27 years old, and when I graduated, I barely graduated high school. I was not excited about college. I didn't really know what I was going to do. I didn't have a career path really figured out. I just knew I was supposed to go to college. It just seemed like that was the route to go to college. So I went to college, and I lived in a dorm for the first year, and I was still in my hometown, but I was free. I was in my own place. And y'all, I did not take it seriously at all. I completely flubbed my entire first semester of college. I honestly just had fun. I didn't care about school. I didn't have any motivation or drive. I didn't have any vision, and I didn't have a why as to why I was going to college. There was no purpose behind it for me. That's what everyone else was doing, so that's what I was supposed to do, right? Wrong. I ended up being in college on and off for 7 years. 7. Whether it was in class, on campus, online, working at a coffee shop, or was at a completely new campus in a completely different city. I started out college as a graphic design major because I thought about doing photography. I loved photography and thought, okay, graphic design, I'm going to go on my own photography shop or my own studio, and I'm going to take that route. Well, little did I realize what all graphic design majors entail, but that was not my cup of tea. So then I veered and thought, okay, business entrepreneurship. That makes more sense. Learn how to run your own business, figure out the photography stuff later. Still didn't have this burning desire or passion in me. Nothing felt like it was matching up. Nothing felt like it was connecting. And I still felt extremely lost. I was just running in circles with my head cut off, and I needed guidance. I was really lost. I was not in a great relationship. We had been together for a few years, but it was not a good relationship. And so I was kind of just delving into that and wasn't really paying attention to me and taking care of me. And so I lost myself. I lost what I was truly passionate about. And honestly, I didn't really know exactly what it was. I needed to do some really deep soul searching. And college young life was brought into my life and honestly saved me. It saved me. I started going to college young life and absolutely loved it. I grew up in the church, but had kind of got away from it a little bit in high school and then through part of my college years. And I just knew that the Lord was calling me and He was pursuing me. And He wanted He wanted me to come back and truly see what plans he had for me. And so I was like, okay, God, let's do it. I'm not doing anything right. I don't feel like anything is falling into place. I'm trying to do everything by myself, and clearly that is not working. So what do you have in store for me? And so I started going to College Young Life every week, met some amazing people, started going to a church called City Life, and it was actually my old youth pastor from the church that I grew up in, and I absolutely love this family. And so I started going to church there, and my eyes were just opened. I just was clear. I had vision. I knew that I was worthy. I knew I was loved. I knew that God had a story for me and a plan for my life. I didn't know exactly what it was going to look like, but I knew that if I continued pursuing Him and trusting Him and following Him and being surrounded by a community of people who love the Lord, that I would in turn figure out what He had planned for me. So I ended up rededicating my life. I believe it was November of 2013, and that following January of 2014, I felt a calling to go to Haiti. So I prayed about it, and I just had this tug in my heart and decided, let's go to Haiti. I will listen to you, Lord, and I will go to Haiti. Let's do it. July of 2014, I went to Haiti and served for a week alongside some incredible people who just have a heart for the Lord and to serve and love others. And it was exactly what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be in Haiti. I was supposed to be learning about all kinds of things and truly seeing other parts of the world that I never seen before, or even honestly really thought about. And when I got back, I knew I needed to get out of my job. I knew it wasn't right. I wasn't happy in the job, but I needed a job, and I was willing to just kind of suck it up and do what I needed to do until I felt something different. And when I got home, I just kept hearing this thing of children and working with your hands and teaching and serving the kids. And so somehow one of my friends who teaches at a Christian middle school was like, hey, my old pre-K director where I used to work is looking for teachers. Do you think that's something that you're interested in? Because she actually was on the Haiti trip with me. And I said, sure. I've been actually hearing about teaching and kids, and it's been a constant thing on my heart. So I'll go check it out and see what it's all about. And I fell in love with it. Absolutely loved it. Immediately felt like it was exactly where I was supposed to be, and I got the job, and I became a preschool teacher. I was an assistant preschool teacher. For that, you don't need a college degree to be an assistant preschool teacher. If you're a lead teacher, that's a different story. But to be an assistant, that was something that I could do, and I could help and serve these kids. And it was a Christian preschool, and so I was surrounded by other people who loved the Lord and wanted to serve. And so I was there for a little while and met my husband during this time. We dated and got engaged while I was still working as a preschool teacher, and decided to move where he was living at the time and go to school in Manhattan at Kansas State University to pursue an elementary education degree. So I left, I believe it was January of 2016, and moved to Manhattan, got my own little place before we got married, and was teaching at a preschool there. And it was different. It was not what I had at the previous job, but I still really loved it because I was around kids and I was learning new things and new ways of teaching and how to be a team player, and I was really enjoying it. And I wasn't at first, but I had to kind of let my guard down a little bit and learn new things. So I was there for a little while, and then we got married that August, and I decided to quit that job that I had been at. And I was a nanny for a while. For about 9 months, I was a nanny for 4 amazing girls that lived really close by to where we were living. And so I got to nanny them and continue going to school at K-State starting that fall of 2016. And so I was doing the nanny job, I was going to school part-time, and just trying to figure it out. So I finished out that year of school, and I really liked my elementary education process so far, but I still wasn't making any headway, and school was still really hard for me. I don't know what it was about college, but I just could not soak it in. I was one of the older students in class. I was married. I couldn't connect with a lot of people, and I still felt lost. I still didn't know exactly what God was calling me to, and I didn't know what my life career was going to look like. And not to say that when you choose one thing, that's going to be what you're going to have forever. You can be several different things throughout your life, but I just still didn't feel like I knew exactly what I was supposed to be doing. I loved being with kids and I loved teaching, but there was so much behind it, so much politics, so much paperwork, so much just drama and everything that kind of intertwined with it. And I just didn't know if that was for me. So my husband and I ended up moving closer to his job, and I decided to step away from college, at least for a little bit, and see what was going to happen. And little did I know that an opportunity was going to fall into my lap that I had never thought about. I had been following Ashley, who is my upline coach now, for a while, and was just really inspired by her and her joy and her charisma and just her passion. And she was a teacher too. And she was doing this side hustle thing called Beachbody. And I was like, okay, what is this all about? So I was really curious. I loved her charisma. I loved her passion and her joy, and just saw a light in her. And I wanted what she had. I wanted to know, why is she so happy? I mean, what is she doing in her life that is giving her this excitement and this joy with her job? She is a believer, as I am, and was in a teaching job that she knew she wanted to get out of, even though she loved teaching and loved being with the kids, but knew that for her and her family, she wanted to do something different. So I reached out to her and asked her about it, and I started doing the workouts and checking things out and drinking the superfood shake that she was talking about, and really loved it and decided to jump into the coaching opportunity. My first time being a coach and trying to figure the things out, and working from home, it was hard because I wasn't giving it my full effort, and I just wasn't using all my resources wisely. I wasn't connecting with people. I wasn't finding the community that I needed to really keep me accountable. And so again, I had stopped something that I had started, and didn't finish it. And I felt like a failure. I didn't feel like I was worthy of having any kind of career in my life. I didn't think that God had a plan for me with my career at all, with something I was passionate about. I just felt completely and utterly lost. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then that fall, I found out that I was expecting my first child, and I didn't have a job. My husband was working full time, and we were going to his family farm every weekend to work on the farm and do things there. And I didn't know what my life was going to come to personally. I knew that I needed to provide and bring some kind of income in for my family, because I didn't want it to be all on my husband's shoulders. So we ended up moving to the farm January of 2018, and I got another preschool job. And I just thought, okay, I'm good at this, and I will just do this job until I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something else, and I'm just gonna suck it up and do it because I need a job and I'm good at teaching. I'm good with kids. And so I took the job, and I really, really liked it. I really liked it. The girl that I worked with, the lead teacher, was amazing, is amazing. And it was with a different age group that I was used to, with a toddler age. So this was completely new to me. So it was a challenge, different school. I had a little bit of a commute, but I was okay with that. And then about a month in, the smoke screen came down, and I started seeing all of these things that were not okay in my book. And I was having a really hard time with it because I felt this pull to be here for my kids because they were my kids and I needed to take care of them. They needed a teacher who saw them and who heard them and valued them. So we just kind of stuck through it, and I pushed through until I couldn't anymore. I was like 8.5 months pregnant when I finally went on maternity leave, and I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to come back or not. And I decided not to come back after maternity leave, and I just knew I wanted to be at home. And so I reached out to Ashley yet again, and I was like, hey, I think I want to try this again. I feel like my vision is more clear, my purpose is more clear, my why is more clear. Can I come and do this again and try it out and see what this is all about? And she was like, yes, I would love to have you back. Let's get started. And so I got started, and wasn't 100% sure how to go about everything at first. And then in February, I was accepted into a coach mentorship group with her and several other women who were wanting to just pursue this and really go after it. And so I have been going after it since February, and I've had some pretty slow progress. And I know that's okay because all of our journeys are different, right? We all have a different journey. And I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing because being able to be at home with my child is so important. But I know that there's another side of me that needs that community and needs to teach and be around people and serve people and love on people. Even though it is a health and fitness company, we start from the inside out. It's all about loving yourself and taking care of your body and putting in the right things that your body needs to be fueled and energized, and really taking care of your mind, your body, and your soul. And that is something that I've been extremely grateful for, and have really been learning over the last 3 months for sure. I kind of gone in strides, but the last 3 to 4 months, ever since July, I should say, when I went to my first work conference, I have just had this fire lit under me, and I continue to invest in myself because I know that I'm worthy of being invested in. And if I'm investing in myself, that means that I'm able to invest in my child, in my husband, my marriage, my friendships, and my family, and everything else so much more, because I've taken the time and effort to pour back into myself so that I can overflow onto others. And that has been the most important thing that I've learned, is taking care of me and making sure that I'm okay. And there are days when I'm not okay. I've shared on Instagram before that I still have days where I am depressed and I still go through the motions, like we all do. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm trying to run my own company and build it. My husband is joining the Army National Guard and is leaving for basic, and I'm going to be at home by myself and trying to make all these things happen. And I know that I'm capable of doing these things because I've felt called to be here, and I've felt the passion, and I know what my purpose is. And just all the tribulations that I've gone through. I'm grateful for them, because I would not be molded into the woman that I am today without those things. And I didn't used to see it that way. It's taken me a long time to finally realize that all of the struggle that I've gone through, it is what has helped shaped me. And it is something that I am able to share with other women and help them on their journey, on your journey. And I know that everything that I've been through, whether it was good or bad, it's all for His glory. And I get to use my story to help others, and just hopefully be a little bit of a light in their life, and maybe help steer them in a different direction, and show them that there is a different way, and that you don't have to be in a job that you hate. You don't have to be in a job where you feel undervalued and unworthy and just pushed to the side. You don't have to feel like that anymore, because I had jobs like that. I had so many jobs like that where I didn't feel like my boss really cared about me at all, or my ideas, or my heart, or anything for that matter about me. And I wanted to change. I wanted to change the tide. I want people to feel that they are worthy, and that they're loved, and that they're valued, and that they mean something. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want so many other women to finally feel the way that I am able to feel right now. And there's days, I will be honest, there are days when I don't feel all excited and happy and all of that. And that's just kind of life. Your days aren't going to be perfect. Nothing is perfect. But I strive every day to make the most out of my day, because I get to wake up in the morning and breath is in my lungs, and I'm awake, and I have another day on this earth that I get to serve and love people. And that is what my mission is. That's my purpose. That's why I'm here. And so I just wanted to share with you that even though right now maybe your life doesn't look super clear, and things look really foggy, and your vision is not there, it's okay to not know exactly which direction your life is going. You just have to constantly be taking a step forward and investing in yourself and doing things that make you happy, and that bring joy into your life, and where you can bring joy into other people's lives. And whichever path you're on right now in your life, I want you to remember what fuels you.